Hi, welcome to Cymatic TV. This is Tom Lawless with your energy update on the 29th of January 2021. I haven't been around for quite a bit, so I've been away sort of doing stuff at the moment and pretty mundane stuff really. But it's all getting sorted and then things are gradually moving on, which is all good really. And in the meantime, the vibrations have been a little bit all sort of up in the air, mixed up. A real transitional period that we've been going through over the last sort of week. And it will be interesting to go into seeing how these different vibrations have been interpreted, let's say in Ayurveda. And we're going to be going into the Prana winds and how they are connected to the sun and how the sun produces these sort of different types of vibrations and how these affect us. Also, we're going to be going into astrological signs. So we're going to be connecting quite a few dots today, all about fixed signs, mutable and cardinal signs. So if you want to know what's going on in the vibrations for you, please do keep watching all the way to the end because that will be coming at the end. In the meantime, let's see what's been going on with our sun. How's it been for you guys whilst I've been away? What's been going on the sun? Let's just have a quick look. It's been a week and we're going to be going back over the last 7 days. So over the last 7 days, let's see what's been going on. You can see that little pop on the bottom section of the sun. That was a little bit of a solar flare, but nothing really coming our way at all. Far too much of the magnetic field of the sun to let it out and in our direction, and it's all been brought back down. It's really been a story about these coronal holes that we can sort of see coming through, and these filaments as well, which have been sort of snaking across the surface of the sun. That's been creating an energy that's been a little bit let's say plexus solus, or solar plexus, sorry, solar plexus, and also a little bit of sort of sacrum sort of stuff going on. And it's been asking us individually and collectively to sort our stuff out. We've been through all of that malarkey that's been over in the US and the starting off of the Biden presidency. It's all been a bit messy. And that's pretty much what the sun has been doing. That sort of energies there that have been coming through. We're just switching it around just so we can see those coronal holes a little bit more. And those coronal holes are all about the solar plexus. They are really heavy energies. So it might be a week, you've been a week where, certainly for me, dealing with stuff, mundane stuff, run-of-the-mill stuff, but getting actual physical things done, which I've been doing over the last week. As you can see, there has been a bit of sunspots activity down in the south, but also, which is quite interesting for solar cycle 25, is in the northern hemisphere, and that's going to start picking up. And as it does pick up, that's going to close off that solar plexus energy of the coronal holes and allow it to get a little bit more zippy, more sort of third eye sort of stuff going on. And it should help other people, or should help everybody to sort of get on and start seeing a future that's a little bit better. I know it's difficult at the moment with all this sort of conholio sickness and everything like that. But it's a good idea to set yourself at the moment. For some of you, it might have been a quite heavy week. There was quite a bit of heart going on as well, I think, as well. So it might have been when you needed to discuss a few things and get things sorted out on that sort of front, on the emotional side of things. As for the vibrations that are coming our way, if you look at down at the bottom left, that's that X-ray flux. Now that's the vibration that gives us that sort of, it's a bit like champagne or cocaine. Not that I would advocate either of those two, to be honest. But it has been dropping out a lot. So it gives it a spurt, drops out, spurts, drops out. And life has been pretty much like that as well. You can see there on the right-hand picture of the bars, you can see a little bit of few of red bars, and that was that coronal hole that turned up very slowly. I did a thing on Facebook about sort of predicting earthquakes and stuff like that. And it didn't turn up for a couple of days after when I thought it was going to turn up. As we saw earlier on in the sun, we do have those coronal holes coming through, and there's one that goes right from, let me just put it back so we can see properly. It goes right back from the southern pole, right going up through to the equator. As it comes through here, you can see it in this section here, certainly in this one here in the 211 angstroms. And as it sort of comes round towards facing the Earth, we can see it sort of opening up and start developing. It stretches up to the equator and even crosses it, and then comes down into the southern pole. So this is actually in the next few days. So we're talking about Saturday, Sunday. Now we're talking about Monday and Tuesday next week. This is when it's going to be hitting our way. So you may find Monday and Tuesday very heavy in the way of energies and stuff like that. It'd be a good time to sort of almost like dig over your garden in a way and get things prepared for the future. If you can keep down on that and without getting emotionally tied up in the rest of the world, it will be a lot easier for you. So let's just see what's been happening in the earthquakes and the vibrations that's been coming through our way. Now this was last Friday, as far as I can gather, on the 23rd, or it was 6 days ago. So this will be on Sunday, sorry. So as we can see, we've had that big earthquake down the South America, just off the tip of South America in the Antarctica. So this is this resetting going on, a little bit in the plexus solis and the third eye and the throat chakra. So it must be a good energy to sort of work out, kind of going, how do I position myself according to my bank, according to my job, according to my house, according to physical stuff, really. There's been a little bit on the heart, so there might have been a bit of a mixture of emotions in there, according to the heart. So it might have been sorting out your house according to sort of your partner, your families and friends, or your cohabitants. Cohabitants. When you're with flatmates, that's it. You know, there's been quite a bit on the root and the thing, but the thing to notice is there's nothing on the sacrum. What was going on? Nothing really on the sacrum, only little ones really, because this is from 3 upwards on the magnitude. Okay, so on the 24th, here we go. That's still that little reset going on. We've still got quite a lot down in the root chakra, so we've still got that energy down in the southern part of the globe at the moment, with also that solar plexus energy going on. Still nothing really in the sacrum, and the heart is going to be a little bit easier. So the 24th, you should have felt like that you were really getting down to nitty gritty and sorting out stuff out, which would have been really good. Getting yourself ready for this new sequence of vibrations that should be coming through pretty much this week. We can see it being tipped off in the northern hemisphere, up by the Antarctica, up by Arctic, sorry, in the northern stream. But there's died down on the root chakra. There's nothing on the crown anymore. But we can see that accumulation around the plexus solis, between the plexus solis, or the solar plexus. Keep getting it wrong. Terrible, isn't it? Solar plexus going up through to the heart chakra, going up through to the third eye and throat chakra. So, so we're looking 4 days ago. So on Monday and Tuesday, it should have been easier for you guys to start, you know, sort of expressing your wants and how you want it to be set up, you know, and how you're going to do things. So it must have been easier to actually see through that. 3 days ago, so we're talking about on Wednesday here, on the 26th, or the Tuesday. This is where the heart comes back into play a little bit more. We've still got that root and solar plexus kicking in, but yet again, nothing on the sacrum. So this is not all about me, me, me. It's sorting stuff out so you can position yourself a lot better for the world around us. And that may have caused that little bit of emotion on the heart as well, tugging away, so having to deal with stuff on that. As we come to the 27th, so this is the Wednesday, we still have that solar plexus kicking in. The heart, the roots dropped out a little bit. It's let that energy through. So it's come up a little bit to the sacrum, but nothing really, to be honest, to be shouting about. A little bit on the third eye and the throat chakra. So it's really been a week of getting things sorted to actually see where we're going, expressing ideas of where we want to go. Okay, so we're on to the 28th. This is yesterday. This is where we have more in the third eye and the throat chakra, a little bit on the heart, so that emotion's still sort of tugging away, but yet again, nothing on the sacrum. And also the solar plexus has dipped out of the situation. What have we had today? Well, so far we've had a little bit of the sacrum that's come back. Whoa, it's back. You know, a little bit of self-love. Get into it. Yeah, so you might be looking to do things this weekend, maybe a bit of self-love for yourself this weekend, but nothing really else to sort of signal there at the moment. It's pretty much a quiet day, maybe waiting for that coronal hole energy to turn up on Monday and Tuesday when that sort of picks up and kicks through. Now, I've been going through the polar vortexes and how it's been splitting, and this is all to do with pole shift, as you can see there above. On the 18th of January, you can see that where that polar vortex has been really squashed into Siberia, into China, into Russia, into those sort of places, in that sort of direction. I'm thinking of a place, but I can't remember where Genghis Khan came from. But anyway, it's been really, really cold there, and they've been breaking a lot of records. Animals have been freezing as they stand there, and the farmers have been finding animals actual frozen to death, literally just solid on the spot. Let's just see, so what's been happening since the 18th to now the 29th. You can see in the northern hemisphere that polar vortex is trying to sort itself out. It's trying to pull itself back towards North America, but that is because the magnetic North Pole is moving across towards Siberia very, very quickly. We haven't seen it move like this in thousands of years. Be noticed about that, and this has all got to do with the pole shift and stuff like that. You can see in the southern hemisphere, you've got that South Atlantic anomaly, which is creating a little bit of red around between South America and Africa, and that's trying to bring back those triangular vortexes, which you can see on my map here on the bottom right in the center of the screen in the bottom. These are these big energy lines that go across the earth, and as you can see, it does create this sort of triangular sort of shape, and that's what it's been trying to get back to some sort of normality. I'm not sure if it will do, actually. I think it's going to drop out across North America, and we'll be hitting back onto Siberia and etc. And that will mean more rain and for Northern Europe, for Europe and that sort of section, and more snow for North America. And it has been bearing some real good hoolies over there. So, you know, this is the energy that's pushing to one side, and it's trying to encourage us to move in a certain direction. Humans collectively are not doing this. So this is why we're having problems with power structures. This is why we're having problems with media structures, the wheels seem to be coming off the chariots, doesn't it? You know what I mean? It seems to be falling apart. It seems like that's the way it's going to go if we are still going to be obstinate about it, and it will keep pushing through in that sort of direction. So be conscious about it, that we should be moving into much more of a third eye, throat chakra vibration, and a little bit of the crown chakra. So we should be becoming a little bit more lighter. So as we move into the age of Aquarius, we should be becoming a lot more humane about how we live, thinking about others, sharing our lives, sharing the energy between us, and sharing that love as it goes round, yeah? Okay? So let's just look at the 5 winds of Prana. So in Ayurveda, they break up the Prana, which is equivalent of the chi energy, or the pneuma, as the old Greeks would call it. And it's like the breath of God. And in Ayurveda, they break this energy up into 5 different sections. You've got Prana, you've got Apana, you've got a Samana, you've got Udana, and you've got a Vyana. I hope I'm saying that all correctly. But here we have the different types of vibrations, and as you can see, this is from yogainternational.com. a lovely site about yoga and explanations about it, very, very interesting points of view. And they've associated with areas of the body. So you've got prana, which is chest and head, so heart and crown chakra. And then you have apana, which is to do with the pelvis, which is to do with the sacrum or the sacred energy, the sacred chakra. And then you have samana, which is the navel, which is all to do with the solar plexus. And then you have udana, which is obviously to do with the throat chakra. And then you have vyana, which is to do with the whole body, the circulation in general. But the sun itself actually breaks it down for us. So the first vibration we're going to be looking for is the navel energy, and this is to do with those coronal holes. This is to do with the solar plexus energy. These are these types of vibrations that come through here through the sun, and it governs assimilation, discernment, inner absorbent, and consolidation. And that's all to do with the solar plexus. As we consolidate things, we build things, and etc. Yeah. After that, we have the I'll get it in a minute, I'll tell you. The filament energies, which is all to do with stem cells. This is what I've been explaining in previous energy updates. If you want to have a look, go and have a look in the playlist. And these filament energies actually arrive between the periods of coronal holes, which are in a low season of the cycle, and sunspot cycles, sunspots in the higher part of the solar activity. And it's that transitional period, and we are going through that at this moment. And it's sort of, I've given it also a whole body and the Vyana, because it is to do with stem cells. It is to do with rebuilding your body. It's the governs elimination, downward and outward movement, but it also governs the circulation and all other levels, expansiveness and pervasiveness. I had a problem with that word earlier on. Yeah, and those are those filament energies which we can see dancing around on the surface of the sun. And that is an energy that you can almost swing both ways. Yeah, you can use a little bit of your plexus solis, your solar plexus, or your heart, or your crown, or your third eye chakra. It is about rebuilding ourselves, and it is as we move into this new cycle of energy, because when it does start picking up, you better be ready, because it's going to move on. Things are going to start moving on very, very quickly. As we've seen in previous energy updates, the changings of the earth, the vibrations, and that change is going to be pushed even harder in the future. The other energy that I would like to talk about is the sunspot energies. Now, this is to do with the throat, the heart, the third eye energies, and this is all sort of looking forward, optimistic. So it governs intake, inspiration, propulsion, forward momentum, and governs growth, speech, expression, extension, and upward movement. And this is all to do with those sort of vibrations. You do have other vibrations, but we don't actually visibly see them on the sun. That's all to do with magnetic fields and also light and etc. But these are the pranas that really affect us primarily, and we should be conscious about it. Once you're conscious about it, you can start surfing this energy and pulling to your strengths, which is really important. If everyone started realizing what our weaknesses is, then we can appreciate the strengths in other people. And once we start coming into those sort of types of energy, you're realizing what sort of things it's best for you to do at what given time. Now, scientists, and this is just like a connection thing, scientists came out this week, and it's on the website bigthinker.com. Yeah, they came out with, we know at this point, this is quoting, so that we know at this point that species can navigate using the Earth's magnetic fields, such as birds use this ability for long distance migrations, and the list of such species keeps growing longer. Yeah, it now includes moles, rats, turtles, lobsters, and even dogs. I would even put in that snails. Snails are incredibly good at actually finding their way back to where they came from. So when you pick your snail up in your allotment and you throw it away from your salads, don't worry, it will be back. Yeah, it takes its time, but it will be back. But now we're starting to realize it's actually in humans. Well, that's something that, I've been saying amongst a lot of other people for thousands of years, that this energy is all connected. And this is all to do with that whole prana idea of it all sort of connecting between us. As this energy comes from the sun, it goes into the earth, vibrates the earth. We are connected to the vibration of the earth, and we take all of our energy from the earth. We don't connect to the universe through our energies. That is impossible. We have to go through the earth first, through the sun, and then to the universe. There is a certain structure and certain order to all of this. If there wasn't, it would be quite literally chaos. So it does affect you on a daily basis. When you become conscious of these sort of changes and these vibrations that are coming our way, it will make your life a lot easier to deal with. It's not always perfect, simply because we are humans and nothing is perfect. We can try our best, and once we can start pulling into our strengths, then we can recognize it. We can also look at this in another way. So for all you astrology heads out there, let's just have a quick look at how these vibrations, as the prana, actually affects us. So let's look at the sun and astrological signs. So we're into fixed signs at the moment. We're looking at that. And this is all to do with navel. This is all to do with those coronal holes that I was talking about. And fixed signs, Aquarius, Taurus, Leo and Scorpio. So at the moment, the coronal holes are dying out. So if you are Aquarius, Taurus, Leo or Scorpio, you should be tying up loose ends. You've come through a period over the last 3 or 4 years where it should have been quite productive for you. You should have felt very empowered. But that is coming to an end. We're coming into that year and a half, well, we're already in it, that year and a half transitional period. So corona holes will becoming less important. So you might feel that you're getting a little bit less in the way of energy, feeling a little bit less in the way of force and power within yourself. This is for the Aquarius, Taurus and Leo and Scorpios at the moment. Yeah. And so as we go into this transitional period, realize that tying up those loose ends, sorting things out so then you can actually go through this transition, and then it will open up after that with this high level vibration into the throat and crown chakra, throat and third eye chakra, sorry. And that should help you also to see further down the line and how you can progress these ideas that you should have been putting in place over the last 3 years. The next one we'll be looking at is those mutable signs. Now, mutable signs, Pisces, Gemini, Virgo and Sagittarius, are caught between the two, so they can sort of go both ways. Nice. They can either follow the cardinal energies and head off down a road, or they can actually sort of hunker down with the fixed energies. They can sort of play on both sides. So they're that sort of go-between energies between the two seasons. It lasts usually 1.5 years at the beginning, the transition between the coronal holes and the sunspots, and then it will also last for 1.5 years between the sunspots and dying down to the coronal holes. So you have 2 seasons, you mutables, you lucky people. They're a lot shorter seasons, but at the same time, it spreads out evenly, roughly around about 3.5 years for each group of qualities, I think they're called. Yeah, so for Pisces, Gemini and Virgo and Sagittarius, you should feel it coming through. Things should be really working for you a lot better now. It should help you go forward and move on with plans, make things clear about your relationships, work and etc. at the moment. So it's going to be a little bit more difficult for Taurus. It's a good time to sort things out for Taurus. And maybe a little bit on the Gemini. Gemini, you should be collecting all your fruits from the previous year. Certainly, Pisces, should be, I got that all wrong with, go back to the beginning. Pisces should be having a hard time at the moment in the way of, I've got to sort some stuff out in me. So you're coming into your birthday very soon. It's equivalent of your autumn coming up. Gemini, you're not too far off this as well, but this is your summer period, so you should be collecting your fruits of your labors for the year. Virgos, Virgos, you should be coming into your spring, so you should be now starting to plant those seeds for that coming year. And Sagittarians, well, Sagittarians, bit of a mixed bag actually for you guys at the moment, simply because of the vibrations that are coming through. It's not going as quickly as you want it to do, but winter never does, and you are in your winter at the moment. So be patient, deal with the things on the surface. Okay, for the other astrological signs, we're talking about cardinal signs here. So Aries, Cancer, Libra, and Capricorn. Yeah, Capricorn, you're coming fully into your winter. So sorting out your earth, getting your ducks in the row and everything like that should all be done. You should really thinking about moving on, starting, putting last year into bed, as it were. Librans, you're coming into your spring now, so you should be really planting those seeds. Aries, you're moving into your autumn period, so you should be calculating what you've been doing for a year, what you'd like to stop, what you'd like to continue, what you'd like to start new. And for you Cancers, well, you can just bask in your sunshine of your summer and collect all those lovely fruits of the work that you've been doing over the past 8 months. So these are actually signs, I'll just go back. So the fixed signs, they correspond with the solar plexus in the way of a vibration of the sun, not necessarily of the signs themselves. So with that navel energy, that's Samana, if we're talking about the Prana energy. And then after that, we have the mutable signs, which has to do with that pelvis or sacrum energy. It has a lot to do with stem cells, rebuilding things. So, mutable signs, you should be able to sort of repatch over sort of situations, repair things and stuff like that. And for you cardinal signs, you're talking about third eye and throat chakras, looking down the road, seeing the future and seeing what's actually happening and actually calculating the route that you'd like to go down. It tends to sort of bring society along with it as well. Okay, I hope this has really helped you out. It should do. It should help you to position yourself a lot more with energies. And if it does help you position a lot more and you do like this video, please give it a thumbs up. It does, I would really do appreciate it. It would help on the algorithms. Subscribe and click that bell. We will be doing this all again next week. I will be bringing out different types of energy interpretations to do with dowsing and feeling the Earth's vibration. That should be coming up very shortly in the week, the following week or the week after, and it will be a daily thing. Much shorter videos, but much more poignant. Okay, so I hope you've all enjoyed it. I hope you are all very well. If you're not very well, and you're feeling a bit of a pressure from the what's going on in the human vibration, so you might want to think about seeing a therapist. I do online therapy. You can contact me on Cymatic Life, and you can go to shops and bookings, and you can reserve a session with myself. So I hope you're all absolutely fine and dandy. This has been your energy update, and boy, is it good to be back. I'll see you soon. Take care for now. Ciao for now.
Don't believe, just know. Cymatic TV, turning vibration into reality.